Hey, what's up guys? It's Sean from Chassis Harness. We're here in New England on this gloomy day. It's like freezing raining out, so we figured we'd shoot a video for you guys. I do want to bring up real quick that the questionnaire is really important. I know some people are hesitant to fill it out, but that is what tells us what to build you guys. So that's really key on what we're going to build you. So please make sure you take your time and you fill that out correctly. But today we're gonna show you how to install the two-door window harness in the E36, which is an OBD model, and then our S14, which is a 95 model. So hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so this is the connector we're referring to. The reason you want to pick up the wires on the inside of the vehicle is because this connector right here, if you ever have to swap your door for whatever reason, you just unbolt and unplug this connector, remove the door, swap the new one, and then refasten the connector, and then you'll still have all your window functions wired into the inside of the vehicle. All right, so this is the passenger side window motor for an OBD1 E36. And you can see here, these are the two larger wires we're referring to that you want to pick up on the inside. So what we do is we follow those back into here, and then right above the speaker opening, there's going to be all these wires coming out of it. And you want to find the same two wires that come off the top of the wiper motor and repurpose those so that you can reuse the door jamb connector. To get the perfect amount of casing removed off the window harness, all you have to do is put the butt connector flat on a surface, insert the wire, and mark it with a Sharpie as seen. And then what you can do is pull off just a little bit extra, and then you can take this, once the casing's been removed, and apply it to the wire that you're going to attach it to inside the vehicle. So all of this wiring can be removed and put off to the side for now. You always want to save it. God forbid you need something, a grommet or whatever the case, you want to just figure out how it was routed. So you always want to keep it off to the side until you're done. And then all of this wiring here can be removed. You just want these two thick wires, which correlate with the wiper motor themselves. So you follow for this vehicle, the blue and green and the yellow and we'll call it green wire inside the vehicle to here. So what we're going to do is cut these, and then we can remove the casing that we marked just a little bit under the line, and then you can see butt connector's gone. Grab two more. You remove the casing, you slide on your heat shrink, get that out of the way. If you do use electric tape, make sure to use the 3M, the good stuff. Don't use any of that other knockoff brand because it's just going to fall off and cause problems later. So you want to use 3M. So above the kick speaker is a little cubby here with the rubber on it so none of the wires get damaged. That's crucial. Anytime wiring goes through a piece of metal, you want to have a grommet of some type protecting the wire from the metal. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut all these wires about 6 inches long. Just in case we do pick up the wrong wire, we're not stuck and have nothing left. So we're going to get all that out of our way. And this is what we're going to be focusing on now. So we have the two wires which correlate to the door wiper motor for an OBD1 style vehicle. And then we're going to take the already stripped wire and we're just going to mark it so that we have an idea on where we want to remove the casing. So now that that's done, you take your wire strippers, remove the casing, And now this is a perfect example. This is gonna come back to be a problem later. You're gonna just wanna run your finger from the wire casing out to the copper and it'll just go back nice and easy. So now we take our 2 butt connectors, our 2 passenger side wires, and we have our heat shrink on already. So we're gonna take a pair of crimpers. We're gonna slide the first one on. And you can see it's just a little long, that's perfect. And you insert the body side that you'd like to connect to, making sure both sides of the copper stick out each side. So this side sticks out and this side sticks out the other side. That'd be the perfect connection. And you take your crimpers and you line it up. See, it's wobbling on me, so you just want to verify that it's in the correct spot. You can even crimp it down just a little bit and verify that you're in the correct spot. And then once you are, don't just do one crimp in the middle, do a crimp in the middle to get you started and squeeze with both hands tightly, and then walk it to the outside and squeeze the outside as well, and then go to the opposite side and squeeze that as well, and then repeat for the other side. All right, so we fastened the other side. So all we're gonna do is slide the heat shrink up. And if you guys wanna use 3M electric tape, that's fine, but make sure it's 3M electric tape. And when you wrap it, you pull tightly. Don't use any of that cheap electric tape because it's gonna fall off and cause problems. So you definitely wanna use 3M electric tape if you're not gonna use the provided heat shrink. So once the heat shrink's in place, you get it back. You wanna have the butt connector halfway through the heat shrink, and then just use your handy dandy lighter and keep it moving. Don't let the flame score or char the heat shrink. You want to just kind of move it around and let it do its thing. You have a heat gun, that's ideal, but we just want to show you guys with a lighter so you can see that it is possible. Now you can see, because this wire is white, if you do too much on the wire, it's not gonna do much because we use really good TXL and GXL wire, so it is accommodating. So don't be too weary if you accidentally touch the wire. You can actually see up above the wire on the vehicle side is already burnt, and we barely even touched it. So that's a good visual on the wire we use versus what you have in your vehicle. So you're just nice and gentle, no rush. Just let the flame do the work. All right, and that side's done. And repeat for the other side. All right, so off of our 2-door window harness and 4-door window harness, the power will always have a red heat shrink and the ground will always have a black heat shrink. And then we just fasten these battery terminals onto the ring end terminals and attach it to our battery. So let's see if this works. This is our passenger side and we hooked up to the passenger window. We're gonna go down first and see what happens. Oof, the anticipation. Whoa, check that out. All the way down. Once the window reaches maximum open or close position, you want to let go of the button. A moment here or there isn't a big deal. It's totally fine. But if you hold the button, you could run into issues. So let's go up. Sick. Definitely sounds like I got to put a little grease right here on the door. You can see the score mark and you can see all the grease outside of the score mark. So that's an indication that your motor is going to be working harder than it has to be. So you definitely want to add a little grease. right, so here we are on the S14 Nissan 240SX, and this has already been cut. You can't see the wiper motor. It's actually behind the door skin here. So we do know that this is the connector, so we're gonna just pick it up on the other side so that we can have it nice and easy. So because this already comes off, we can kind of work like comfortably. So what we're gonna do is make sure these are the same. So we're just gonna cut it like that, and then we're gonna take our butt connector, put it on like this with the Sharpie, and then mark it. We're gonna do the same thing for the other side, mark it. All right, and then we have our driver's side of the two-door window harness, so we'll do the same thing. We're gonna make sure they're at the same length, and then mark this. The same thing on this wire, mark that. Now we're gonna remove all the casing here. A little extra is fine, because then it gives you a little breathing room. Then we're gonna slip on our heat shrink. Again, if you want to use electric tape, that's totally cool. Just make sure you use 3M. That's definitely something you don't want to mess around with. The other electric tape just falls apart so quickly. So we have this. We'll put this off to the side for now as it falls. And then same thing here. Boom. Good to go. I got one butt connector. I got to find one more. But you can slide this in and see what I mean about having it stick out just a little bit. So you can see you have the casing, the butt connector up to the casing, and then you have the copper just exposed the littlest bit on both sides. And then that should also be the same for here. So what we'll do, slide this in like this. You see like that, and then I'm gonna crimp it. On this part, this is crucial. You want the butt connector centered, and you want the wires sticking out both sides, and then you just kind of give it a quick squeeze, and then just verify that everything's good. And then once it's good, you want to squeeze it with 2 hands as tight as you can squeeze it. Ugh. And then you want to go out to the end, squeeze it again, go out to the other end, and there you go. So this side, as you can see, it's starting to fray on me, so you're gonna want to start from the casing and work your way out to the copper, and it'll just go right back to the way it was. And then just gotta find one more butt connector. Boom, there we go. Slip that on, take this, slip this in here. You want to make sure you don't catch anything with the part that's sharp that you're not using that'll cut anything off. So you don't want to be going like this and then catching it on the other side. You want to stay away, and don't catch your hand either. I literally just did that yesterday right there. So take my mistake as a learning experience, and then just want to crimp it. And then once you verify that everything's good, you can kind of see how it's still open on this end, and that's why we say to go to both sides and squeeze it. Squeeze this side, squeeze this side. There we go. Now we'll slide the heat shrink up. We're going to use a little YouTube magic and heat these up and shrink them down. Ready? Okay, and there we have it. We shrunk down the heat shrink real quick with some YouTube magic. So we're going to plug this back in and hope for the best. Let's see what happens. You hear the little click, you know you're in. I'm going to grab the switch and hope for the best. What's going to happen? We're going to go up first. Ready? Oh, sick. Boom. And once it gets into the upright position, you let go of the button, and then we go down. There you go. Good to go. Hyped. I have working windows in my 240 now.